Once upon a time, in the family of Mr. Eze, a God-fearing man, he lives with his wife called Ifoma with their two children. They have a maid called Ngozi. We hired Ngozi after my last maid ran away in the middle of the night, crying something about voices in the ceiling. I thought she was mad, foolish girl, but now I know. Ngozi came from a far village, thin, with skin like charcoal and eyes too deep, too dark. She spoke softly, always too softly. The children liked her. My husband said she was obedient, but I saw things they didn't. Like how the mirror in the hallway always steamed up after she walked past, even when there was no heat. Or how my baby girl, Ada, would giggle at the ceiling when Ngozi entered the room and say, "Uncle Blackie is here." One night, I couldn't sleep. My body was cold even under the wrapper. I heard whispers, but not from the bedroom. They came from the backyard. I looked out through the curtain. Ngozi stood there alone, her hands in the air, her lips moving, laughing, responding, as if someone was answering her. But no one was there. I wanted to shout, but fear held my tongue like a strong hand. I only closed the curtain and returned to bed, pretending to be asleep, as she tiptoed back inside. My heart was dancing like a drum. From that day, things changed. My husband started forgetting his prayers. The children stopped playing in the living room. They said the man with the long legs didn't like noise. One morning, I woke to find chicken feathers on our doorstep, arranged in a perfect circle, blood in the middle. No one knew how they got there, but Ngozi said, smiling, "Maybe someone is protecting this house, madam." Protecting? I called my pastor. He came with oil, with prayers. The moment he stepped inside, Ngozi screamed, not like a human being, her voice stretched like rubber, raw and terrible. She collapsed, foaming, her eyes white like salt. The pastor said, "This girl is not alone. She brought a present with her." He poured oil on every doorpost. He shouted into every corner. Ngozi remained unconscious for 2 days. When she finally woke, the first week after Ngozi left was silent, too silent. I scrubbed the floors with holy water. I played gospel music from dawn to dusk. The children slept in my room. My husband fasted. We tried to pretend it was over. But evil doesn't knock twice. It enters once and leaves its shoes under your bed. One evening, Ada, my baby girl, came to me with a drawing. She used black crayon, pressing hard. A tall, dark figure stood beside a small girl with pigtails. "This is Uncle Blackie," she said sweetly. "He sleeps beside me now that Ngozi is gone." I felt cold, even though it was afternoon. My hands were shaking. I burned that paper immediately. I told her never to draw him again. That night she screamed in her sleep. When I rushed to her, Her eyes were wide open, but she wasn't awake. She kept repeating, "He said you're not her real mother. He said Ngozi is the only one who listens." I started praying like a madwoman. My knees stayed bent longer than my back could carry. My mouth dried from calling God's name. Still, the house was heavy, like smoke you couldn't see. One day, I opened Ngozi's old room to clean it. What I found inside made my heart fall to the pit of my stomach. Behind the wardrobe, hidden in a torn nylon bag, were a blackbird's feather, red threads tied around a human tooth, my husband's boxers, my daughter's old shoe, and a small clay pot filled with something that smelled of rot and wet earth. I screamed. My neighbor, Mama Chinelo, came running. She saw the items and refused to enter the house. She pulled me aside and said in a whisper, "That girl was doing a tie-binding ritual to hold your husband and the child. You allowed her to feed them, didn't you?" My knees failed me. Yes, she cooked most nights. My husband loved her egusi. My children always asked for her fried plantain. Mama Chinelo called for the dibia, an old native priest. I didn't believe in such before, but desperation will humble you. The dibia came at midnight. He walked around the compound barefoot, whispering to the air. He stood in the backyard, the same place I once saw Ngozi speaking to nothing. He looked at me and said, "Something was buried here. A shadow walks your home. You chased the girl, but not the spirit." He dug beneath the mango tree and brought out a white calabash sealed with palm thorns. He didn't open it. He poured hot gin over it and burned it while chanting. The flames went green for a moment. Then the wind blew so hard, the gate flung open. My baby girl screamed from the bedroom. I ran inside and found her under the bed, shivering. She kept repeating, "Uncle Blackie is angry. He said the fire is hurting him." The dibia stayed till morning. He gave us herbs, ashes, and rules. Don't speak the girl's name again. Don't dig under the mango tree. Never leave mirrors uncovered at night. And never let your children eat food from outside the compound for 40 days. It's been months now. The house is quieter. Not peaceful, but quieter. Ada no longer draws dark figures. My husband prays again. But sometimes the mirror in the hallway still fogs on its own. And once, just once, I heard laughter in the backyard. Not a child's laughter, not human. But I stayed inside. I closed the curtain, because some stories should not be chased. Some shadows should be left alone.